Criminal Minded here. And I have to apologize to my subscribers. I have not been having a lot of time to make a lot of blogs. It's hard trying to hustle, trying to be a homeschooler to your child, trying to plot for the future, working out, staying fit, and a whole load of bullshit. But I thought I'd take time out to make this video. There's a lot of things that have been going on in the media with blacks, same usual shit. The war that has not been clarified or has not been classed as a war. That have been going on since the first white man set foot in Africa. Or should I say the first Arab set foot in Africa. But I don't even know where I stand. I'm not going to talk about nothing that's going on in the media or whatnot. I'm just going to talk about hate. And today is called Hate is Good. A lot of black people in the black community always want to talk that bullshit. You shouldn't hate. You should love everybody. I say quite the opposite. You see, hate exists for a reason. The way I see hate helps you to identify what you love. Hate helps you to identify what you're willing to represent. Hate also helps you to identify what you don't want to be part of, what you don't want to be around, what you don't even want to tolerate. So hate helps you to define you. So I say it's good to hate. And hate brings forth a lot of things. Because of hate, you can identify love. And because of hate, other races have been able to keep their racial their racial what's the word for it? Identity. I don't care what anybody says. Every race hate. Asians don't like black people, as far as I'm aware of. Arabs don't like black people, as far as I'm aware of. Arabs love Arabs. And because Arabs love Arabs, they can identify what they don't like, which is black people. Whites love white people. And because whites love white people, they can identify who they don't love, which is black people. The only problem is when a so-called Arab extremist, whatever the fuck that means, attack a Western/white society, they call it a hate crime or they call it a terrorist act. And the media will pump the notion for every white person in Western society to hate either Muslims or Arabs. And they will justify their hate, which quite rightly so. Yeah? When it comes to black people, it's quite different. You see, the problem why it's quite different is we haven't got our own airwave, our own, let's say, our own media channel to promote our agenda. So we're stuck with what the dominant society tells us. I was on this Facebook group, and she was talking about how she's not racist. She don't want white people. She just don't want her children to date white people, and she doesn't hate. I had to tell the woman. I said this was one of the members of the group. I had to tell her, listen, racism is good. Racism is not bad. The only reason why black people see racism as bad is because 9 times out of 10 we are at the short end of the stick. All racism is really, if you sit down and analyze racism, it's a sport, and that sport is in every sector of society. We're talking about racism is in sex, racism is in economics, racism is in history, it's in religion, it's in entertainment, it's in law, it's in politics, it's in war. Racism is in all sectors of society. You know what I'm saying? The aim of this racism sport is what race can get to the top. Yeah? And what race can deceive another race and get to the top of all these sectors: war, religion, labor, law, politics, sex, entertainment, economics, all of these. So that's how I see racism as. And when a white person kill a black person, that's war. Do you understand? That's racist war right here. Yeah. When the white person goes to Africa and steal our minerals, that's racial economics. When they make laws that will benefit whites but will not benefit blacks, that's racial law. When they sanction African countries from functioning like a nation, that's politics, racial politics. So you have to understand the game that is being played here. When they got black people acting like buffoons on TV, that's racial entertainment. Yeah, when everyone's religion, everyone's belief system, and their God is a mimic of their own image, that's racial religion. So racism is not bad. Racism is good. And I was telling this black woman, black people need to start practicing racism more. We might get somewhere. If black people was practicing racism, you wouldn't have Eminem, you wouldn't have Vanilla Ice, you would not have white society literally hijacked our culture. If black people practice racism, a lot of these technologies will not exist, and will only exist in the black community, because we will not want to share with nobody else. Same with whites, same with Chinese, same with everybody else, which I am all for. I am all for this. Yeah. If black people was to practice racism in sports, trust me, the NBA would not make the amount of money it's making. The NFL would not make the amount of money it's making. A lot of their bullshit wouldn't function how it's supposed to be functioning. Do you understand? If black people practices racism in economics, oh my God, it'll be you know where I'm going with this. If black people stop putting their finances in their white-owned banks, all in the name of interest, especially the African sellout political leaders, you see where I'm going with this. Because white political leaders don't put their money in African banks. They put in their European banks, and they help build their nation up. So everybody's practicing racism apart from black people. And that's why we are in a position we're in today. This is what I believe. I really believe this shit. Yeah, and because we don't practice racism because we've been brought up to believe that racism is bad and it is hate. No. Racism is love for your race. Number one, love for your race. So black people need to get off that fucked up mentality that racism is bad and hate is negative. No, 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 no. Hate is good. Extremely good. Because hate helps you to identify what you're willing to die for. It helps you identify what you're willing to live for. It helps you to identify what you are about. I say it's time black people start practicing racism. And if we was to practice racism, number one, we will respect ourselves more. Number two, our races will respect and fear us. Number three, we will not become a race of beggars. Chinese practice racism so much so that every Western country you go to, there's a Chinatown, their own town. There's Little Italy. Yeah, the Asians practice racism. You got Asian town. They just don't call it Asian town. All the shops there's owned by Asians. Asians. All the economy there's run by Asians. Yeah, and they sit down with the mayors of that town, and the mayor makes sure that he do things that will benefit that community as Asians. All we go is the council estate when it comes to England, and the ghetto when it comes to America. We need to understand this concept very well. Racism is good. Yeah? We need to have our own type of KKK who will go out there, who will shoot motherfuckers, whites, Asians, whatever. Who will lynch motherfuckers. Who will infiltrate into the system and only look out for blacks and blacks only. They will join the police force. They will join the army. They will join the government, the government offices. They will infiltrate the system. We are taught to be fucking law-abiding, Christian, Bible-bashing damn motherfuckers. Like I said, I've got nothing against racism, because I see myself as a fucking racist. And if I had any power, I would restrict every race from coming around my motherfucking power, or my motherfucking wealth, or what my people will benefit from. I will restrict every fucking race. Yeah, I'm a great believer of racism. I don't mind when a white person is racist to me. I don't mind when a white person don't want to let me into their club. I don't mind when a white person don't want to do none of that shit, because I really don't even want to be a part of that shit. So I don't mind. I don't cry. You will never catch me on TV saying they're racist, because I overstand. Because I would do the damn same, if I would do much worse. Trust me, this is me, criminal minded. So you have to understand the situation I'm speaking, or I'm spitting right now. I've got nothing against racism. You know what I'm saying? I've got nothing against it. If they was to make a decision to put us all in concentration camps, cool, put us all in concentration camps. If I have to fight to survive or have to fight to die, I'll fight to survive or I'll fight to die. These are the cards that have been dealt. That's the game I'm going to play. I'm playing. Put my cards on the table, man. Yeah? We need to stop coming off with this mentality. Yeah? Good. The word good and evil. I was watching Star Wars, The Return of the Sith. I'm not sure. Where Anakin Skywalker was speaking to the head of the Senate. The one who became the real Sith Lord. And he said to Anakin, good and evil is an opinion. And I understood it. I don't know, I've said this in one of my videos before, but I'm just re-clarifying this. Good and evil is an opinion. To white people, I'll give you examples. To white people, Christopher Columbus is a great man. He sailed on the ocean to go discover land for the whites. He discovered the Americas. This is according to white people. This is white people's narrative. Christopher Columbus is the greatest man that God ever created. They've got statues, books, movies. They've got hospitals. They've got hotels. They've got universities, libraries, roads, all kinds of shit named after him. He's a great man. To the Aztecs, to the Native Americans, to the Native Caribbeans, Christopher Columbus is an evil motherfucker. He killed, he raped, he lynched, he burned, he castrated, he robbed, he stole. He did all the evil shit known to man. Now, does white people see Christopher Columbus as an evil man? No, they don't. Why should they? Because all the evil deed that the natives say he did it for white people. So white people are going to cheer him on. Do you get my concept? Tell you another story. Cecil Rhodes. Cecil Rhodes came to South Africa, or should I say Southern Africa. He killed over 50 million blacks. He took their diamonds, he took their gold, he took their minerals, took all their secrets, their knowledge, everything, and took it back to England. To the Zulus and to the Southern Africans, Cecil Rhodes is an evil bastard. To the whites, and especially to Britain, he's the greatest person that ever walked the earth. They have built the same thing for Christopher Columbus they done for Cecil Rhodes. They built schools. They've named scholarship after him. De Beers Diamond. Cecil Rhodes is a founder of De Beers Diamonds. He has helped the white nation become rich. White people worship him to this day. If you go to Africa, even in Africa, they still got statues of this guy on the land that he did most of his massacring. Do you understand? So, good and evil is just an opinion. There is no factor to good and evil. The Haitian Revolution, to Africans, to black people, that was a good thing. All these captive Africans put in slavery revolted and killed all these French soldiers, Spanish soldiers, and British soldiers, and took over a land that became Haiti. Now, do you think the white people see Haiti as see that revolt as a great model of example for the world? No, French hated that shit. English hated that shit. The Dutch, the Germans, America, they all came together and they all hated on Haiti. To them, Haiti was evil. There's even a clip where one of them white Christian motherfuckers talking about Haiti made a pledge with the devil and they destroyed the whites. This is true story. It's on YouTube. The Haitian Revolution. Yeah. When Robert Mugabe kicked out those whites off the farm, do you think there was one African? Well, there probably was, because Africans are dumb motherfuckers. Do you think majority of Africans hated that shit? Majority of Africans rejoiced, and we thought that Robert Mugabe is a good person. What do you think Europe thought? They thought he was an evil person, they used to put him on the news as an evil person. They tried branding him as the next Hitler, or should I say the Black Hitler. And I'm saying this to say this. Majority of the things that black people has taken on to be negative is all opinions. There is no factor to it. Hate is good. Just like good is good. In fact, sometimes good can be negative. To the point where it is sickening. Like, man, you're mad. You're so good, you're stupid. Sometimes being good can be borderline stupid. So hate and love is an opinion. And good and bad is an opinion. Because what may seem good to somebody else may seem bad. What may seem bad to somebody else may seem good. So I'm making this blog just to let black people know this, man. We need to change our mindset. We need to change our mentality, man, on how we see and perceive things. Yeah? And it is time we start embracing racism. Yeah? It is time we start embracing it and start practicing it. I believe we'll get far, we'll get further, we get real far if we practice racism. Yeah, it will force us to do for self what we're not doing now, and even it will force us when we do for self not to try and embrace other races with it. We exclude. All racism means is exclusion. Really and truly, if you analyze it carefully, all racism means is exclusion. I'm excluding you from living. I'm excluding you from eating. I'm excluding you from feeding. I'm excluding you from existing. I am excluding you from coming amongst myself, my circle, my group. I'm excluding you. That's all racism is. Racism is just an exclusion. Yeah. On that note, criminal minded. I'm not like I stole something. Peace.